guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Better Together and I am here with my very beautiful best friend Anna.
I am here with my wonderful, amazing best friend Sabrina. How are you today, babe?
I am great.
Because
when I'm with you, we're better together.
Babe, can you please tell me what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, we're talking about something that I believe a lot of girls struggle with.
Yeah.
We think we can love the red flags away.
Yeah, not only girls, like everyone.
Not only girls, but we are girls. We know the experiences of girls. So, yes, we believe we can love the red flags away out of someone.
Mm-hmm.
And what are red flags?
Can you tell me what are red flags?
Well, red flags are warning signs in a relationship that the relationship will bring about unwanted consequences in your life, that the person is not compatible for you, and that if you progress in this relationship, there will be negative implications in your life that might disturb your peace, your well-being, your future plans, just not good signs in a relationship.
And we don't want that, right?
Yeah, we don't want...
Our relationship should be beautiful.
Be healthy, yes.
Yeah,
and red flags indicates that the relationship will have unhealthy tendencies, and so sometimes we see those signposts and we're like, put my glasses on. Put my glasses on.
I can't see them.
What do red flags look like in a relationship?
So red flags can look like you are not aligned with the same core values with this person. Maybe you want to have kids, but this person doesn't want to have kids. And that doesn't make the other person a bad human. It's just like you are not aligned with the same goals in life. That is a red flag. Maybe you believe in monogamy and they believe in polygamy. That is also a red flag. If you don't share the same core values. There is another kind of red flag in a relationship or that you can encounter, and it means that this person is not ready to have a relationship because they have this one is related to character. Maybe they are manipulative. Maybe they
are poor communicators.
They are poor communicators. They don't have the skills to resolve conflict, or they are dishonest. So these are the second kind of red flags that we can encounter in a person. So
and I like that you talked about different life direction, because sometimes we think, oh, red flags are only about character, but it's really true. If someone doesn't want to have kids and you want to have kids, that's a major red flag, and we should really think about that.
It's not only about a person being an egocentric, manipulative, or bad person. Like, there are different kinds of red flags.
But I remember us going out once, and we went to this dinner party, and there was this guy. I think it's your story to tell.
Okay, so we were together and we met this person. We were having a chat about life. This person was in his 40s,
maybe 45.
45, and he was sharing like, oh yes, I love to party, go out,
I drink
every night, every weekend, and go out and drink and blah blah blah. And you asked a question like, hey, so what do you think about marriage? And he's like, I don't believe in marriage. Later on that week, he invited me for a date, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not up for this date because I do want to get married. And he clearly said, he said it. He voiced it out like, hey, I don't believe in marriage. So why would I even engage with someone that doesn't believe in marriage if I want to get married? And some people sometimes they hear someone voicing their red flags and they choose to ignore them, and maybe they think like, oh, maybe this person will want to get married for me. They will change for me. When they are being very clear from the beginning, like, hey, this is not what I want in life. So that's a story that happened, and I chose to disengage. Like, this is not for me. I'm not even giving my energy to this.
Because why would you give your energy to that and then think, oh, for me he will change? That
that is just preparing me for
heartbreak.
A heartbreak. So Sabrina, can you tell me what are some reasons for us to ignore certain red flags?
I just think about the story you just told. Maybe someone would hear that story and think, oh, I'm just going to talk to him and see where it goes. He's handsome, he's this, he's that. And then we get emotionally invested. We get so emotionally invested in the person that we ignore the red flags in the beginning stage, thinking that, oh, it's not going to be a big deal.
Yes.
And then they progress and they get redder and redder.
Or bigger.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we think, oh my God, we have gotten so deep and so emotionally invested that it's
not
hard.
easy to walk away.
It's hard to walk away from this situation. And so we ignore the red flags in the beginning stage and then get emotionally invested. So because we're so emotionally invested in this person, we tend to ignore the red flags in the relationship.
Yeah.
And also, we believe, like you said, we can change the person. I am the one. It is my destiny. God sent me.
He will change for me.
Yeah, this is my battle in life. I am the one that is able to change this person.
And sometimes, hey, like for someone to change, it's their choice. They might like, hey, you might be everything. You might be very loving, but if they don't want to change, they aren't going to change.
And also, sometimes we are afraid of being alone.
Yes.
So the fear of being lonely causes us to just ignore the red flags
and get attached to someone.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we don't want to be alone. Maybe we had a history of being alone. Maybe we were single for 10
long
years and we're like, oh, I don't want to be alone anymore. Or maybe you have never been alone. It could be the opposite thing. You've never been alone and you've always been in relationships and you're like, I don't want to face it. I'm running away from facing myself, the noise in my head. I don't want to deal with internal noise. I always need external
someone
validation,
next to me.
someone next to me, so I cannot accept or bear the idea of being alone.
Yeah.
Also, we ignore red flags because of normalized behavior.
Yes.
We normalize bad behavior rather. So we grew up in a household where the father cheats or the mom cheats and we think everyone cheats.
Yeah, sometimes we say like, hey, if my mom accepted this, then it's okay. Why wouldn't I accept this? Or why would I run away from this behavior? Because it's normalized.
Exactly. So we see around us bad behaviors being accepted and we think, it's fine. So because of that, we also accept red flags. We also accept red flags because of low self-esteem.
Yes.
We believe that we do not deserve anything better. And I think I said it in a video before that our vision sometimes is myopic and we think this is the only person out there for us. And we don't know what else is out there. So we're like, I'm just going to accept this. This is the best for me. And also I believe that this is the best thing I can get. I can't see past what is in front of me right now, and so we ignore them.
Yeah, that is so hurtful, but I could see why someone will accept the bare minimum.
The bare minimum.
If they don't know better, or if they can't even see like outside, maybe someone will treat me much, much better.
And because I don't believe I deserve better.
And also this is from desperation, like just wanting to be with someone, and you will just accept just anyone that is around or anyone that shows you the bare minimum. And we shouldn't settle. We shouldn't settle for that. We're wonderful humans, and if you're working on yourself, you should know better for yourself and wanting better in a relationship. Don't be desperate, and I think the right person will come in your life when you're prepared and ready to be in a relationship.
And if you're giving out desperate energy, you accept anything.
Yeah.
When you're desperate, you accept anything.
We talk about that in the hidden consequences of not valuing yourself. When you are desperate, people will walk all over you because you're not respecting yourself and you're just giving, you're giving yourself up to being taken advantage of.
Exactly. We're talking about why we accept red flags. But how should we address red flags if we see them? What if I see a really handsome guy and he has some core values that I like and there's some character issues that I feel uncomfortable with? How should I address those red flags in a relationship?
The first step is to acknowledge them and also know that a person will only change if they want to. You can't change them. Starting from there, you can acknowledge like, hey, I can see that we aren't sharing this same value.
We don't solve conflict the same way.
Yeah, we don't solve conflict the same way, or this is making me uncomfortable. And once you voice that out, the other person can choose if they are ready to change, if they want to change, and that is the first step, like acknowledge them. The second point will be to evaluate their response when you voice them. Like, do they get defensive? Are they listening to you? Do they feel attacked? Because like some people, we don't like to be in the wrong, and we get defensive when we are called out. So what is his response or her response? Do you see a chance for them to change?
Or are they trying to work on it?
Or sometimes some people are trying to work on themselves, and they know, like, hey, I know this is something I'm trying to improve. I'm trying to be better. Thank you for letting me know that this is making you uncomfortable, but like, I'm trying my best. Or if they just completely reject the idea and say, like, no, I don't want to talk about this right now. Another part is to see if you can live with them. Like, with these red flags, or like if you can plan your future and see life next to this person, and what if they never change this? Will you accept them?
Because some red flags or some character issues or some life goals, they will never change because of you. So if I tell you that I don't believe in monogamy, are you willing to accept that? Is this something you can live with? And that might be an extreme one, but that's how we have to think. Can I live with that? So assess if this is something I can live with.
Because later on, what if you get married and 10 years later you keep bringing this, like, oh, you are this way, or you're always cheating, but hey, I was like this from the beginning and you accepted me this way. I never tried to change. So at the end of the day, it's on you because you accepted it. Another way to deal with red flags in a relationship, and if you're up for the challenge, it's set clear boundaries. Like, hey, this makes me feel uncomfortable. I don't like this. And I think once you set boundaries, the other person can see, like, okay, I can't change this from myself, or I will change for you, or I want to change. But once you set clear boundaries,
it's up to the other person to respect those boundaries. And sometimes they will not respect your boundary, and that's more a reflection of them than of you. Because if I tell you, please don't shout at me when we're fighting, and you keep shouting at me, that's more on you and some internal things you have to do. So if you keep disregarding my boundaries and I'm firm about them, going back to, can I live with this? Can I live with you always walking over this boundary? If not, then maybe it's time for you to think if this relationship is for you.
And I think when someone sets a healthy boundary and it's broken every time, I think you get hurt and you will choose to walk away. Like, don't stay there. Another thing is to listen to what they say, but pay attention to what they do, because they could say, like, hey, I'm gonna change, I'm not cheating anymore, I'm not lying to you, but then
they do it.
And they keep going around and around, and like, you forgive them the first time, the second time, the third time, like his or her actions are saying something totally different to what they are promising to do. So are you up to live with that, or set your boundary and say, like, hey, this is not for me, I'm walking away?
So listen to what people say, but believe
what they do. So Sabrina, why can't we love the red flags away from a person?
Good question. We cannot love a red flag away from a person, and that is something we have to come to terms with. Change can only come from within. We always say it on this channel, you can take a person to the water, but you can take a horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink. So you can set clear boundaries. You can tell the person how you feel. You can tell the person how this thing hurt you. But if that person doesn't value you enough, if that person doesn't believe that this is something they need to change in their lives, or they don't think this is a wrong thing, they will not change for you. They have to believe that this change is good for me, or I value this person enough to adjust my decisions. So you can't love it away. It must come from within. And also, love doesn't erase harmful tendencies. Love is never enough to make a relationship work. I can love you and still do bad by you. And I can love you and still do wrong. Love does not teach a person how to communicate? What if that person grew up in a household where they never saw a good communication pattern between
Yeah.
mom and dad? Love will not teach you how to do that.
Yeah.
Love will not change core values. That some core values were taught when they were kids. Someone grew up being dishonest and their parents accepted it when they were a child. How do you change that because you love someone? I can love you, but that will not change my behavior.
Sometimes they don't even think that it's something wrong with that. So why would I
Yeah.
change something that I don't think is wrong with me?
Exactly. Love also doesn't cure incompatibility.
Yes.
We can be grossly incompatible, and I love you, but when we think about our life plans, when we put the way we handle money,
Yeah.
love will not fix that. I can't love you to fixing your spending habits, or love you into investing, or love you into thinking about the future, or love you to make you have the decisions or the conversations we need to have about
Yeah.
our future or future plans, how we're going
How are we going to raise our,
our kids.
Yeah.
Love doesn't change any of that. So if
Yeah.
we have totally different ideas about how to raise kids, I can't love you enough to make you want to raise kids the way I want
want.
to raise them. So, and also, when you're trying to love the red flag out of a person, you can lose yourself in that process.
And also the other person could reject you. Like, why are you trying? Why do
Why
you
are you
keep
trying
trying
to
to change me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want. And I think once you tell someone enough times, like, hey, this is wrong. Hey, this is wrong. Hey, this is wrong with you. That person will be like, I don't want to hear this
It
anymore.
becomes nagging.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't wanna pay attention to these. I don't even want to be involved. I don't want to spend energy on these. So
Because if I don't want to change something and you keep telling me, you become nagging to me.
yeah, and that is not healthy for any relationship. Imagine me telling you like, hey Sabrina, I want to only eat vegetarian and you should too, and you should too. But if you don't believe in that, like, it will
There's
be
no
like, why
amount
are you
of-
forcing me?
Yeah,
I don't want.
There is no amount of love that can let me do what I don't want to do if within I don't believe it. And that goes back to what I was saying about losing yourself. Sometimes you have your own boundaries
Yeah.
and your own life plans and your own goals, and because you are trying to fix the person, maybe you're a person who doesn't swear, and you start trying to push back. You don't believe in swearing in your household or swearing at kids, but you are trying to fix this person so much that you start to accept it, and you start to think, oh, it's not so bad. And then another one of your boundaries, another one of your core values, just give them up because you're doing
Yes.
everything you can
To
to
keep-
hold on to this person that is so wrong for you, that is so
Yeah.
incompatible. And before you know it, your friends, your families, they can't even recognize who you are
Yes.
because you've given up so much of who you are just to hold on to that relationship.
Yeah, and we don't want that. So, if you see red flags from the beginning, assess if you can live with them. And if you can't, don't try to love them away because you're going to end up hurting yourself. And hey, they are there from the beginning. Sometimes love blinds us
Yeah.
and we can't see them, but we can feel them. So, follow your intuition. And hey, like if you think that you can't live with them, or if your life goals, plans don't match, then walk away. And sometimes it's hurtful because we want this person, but if this person is not compatible, then
What are you
wa-
gonna do?
Yeah,
It's not for you.
Yeah, it's
He's
not for you.
She's not for you. And that is okay. There are people out there, and just trust that you deserve to be loved.
yes,
And romantically and also in friendship. So
Yes.
just accept that this relationship is not for me, and take your bags and your things and run. accept that this relationship is not for you, and that
Yeah.
the right person
Will
in the
come.
right time will come along.
yes. So this is it for today.
Thank you guys so much for watching. We would love to hear what you have to say in the comment
Yes.
section. So please join the conversations. We're all trying to get better together here.
Yes.
So add to the dialogue. We'd love to hear what you have to say. Remember to like,
Like,
share,
share,
and
and
subscribe.
subscribe.
Until next time. Bye.